to Magnorail Oz. We're off to Sydney to the Epping Train Club's big show at Rosehill Racecourse. Trailer's all packed, nice and compact, 2 tiers with our layouts in it now, thanks to the GMR team that made the frame for us. A big drive with a trailer, 7 hours 45 up to Murrumbateman, which is just outside of Canberra. We had a few stops along the way. These painted silos, spectacular, especially the one that the train buffs will love. Beautiful setup. And they generate a lot of tourism, a lot of people there watching these, looking at them, sorry. A quick cuppa at Holbrook. Holbrook's famous for the HMAS Ottaway submarine in their park garden. And yeah, some good loos there too if you need to have a break on the way to Canberra. We stopped at Murrumbateman that night. Good food at the Country Inn. The rooms were in need of renovation, which they assured us was about to happen. But next door, the takeaway had a brekkie burger, which was really nice. Hash brown, bacon, eggs, you name it, and a cup of coffee as well. So it was a good start to the day. And then we're off to Sydney, just under 3 hours, mainly because we have to get there before opening time, so we can set up and get things going. A very cold day. I think it was about 1 degree when we started off. Petrol got a bit low. It's amazing how much petrol you go through towing the trailer. So at the big ram we filled up, and this was the first of many $100 fills. But this is it. You've got to pay the petrol to get up there. So we're at the Great Train Show. We got there about 12:30, not supposed to get there till 2 o'clock, but we got talking to the security guy and he let us in. So we basically were one of the first few people in, so we were able to set up with the car right at the entrance and unloading. This is our new Cato Lake layout, which we'll describe later. But this is the setup, all ready to go with our 2 layouts and our sales area. Now the new Cato Lake display, Magnorail display, has 3 Magnorail systems going, one for the cars, one for the boats and one for the bicycles. The boats, and I'll be doing a separate video on how I made this and created it and all the pros and cons. The boats are the basic boat set, which gives you an idea of how large that is. It's about 90 centimetres of track with a slow motor. The bicycles is the expert starter set, and as are the cars. And I'll explain a few other things in the video, especially about the bike track. So that's an overview just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with. It's only 1200 long, 600 wide, 600 millimetres wide. The Lego set, kids love it. It just kept going all day. The wheelchair and the little scooter, because these are some of the current sets. The linesman here, he's working on his vehicle, which also runs on the Lego trains, but you just push the bogies up and it becomes a road vehicle. Took a lot of stock up there. Thought we would sell more, but we're still at the publicity stage. If people aren't watching videos on YouTube, they're still not fully aware of Magnorail. So we have to get out to the exhibitions and to be seen. So we're hoping we'll pick up more sales online over the next few months. Coming up is Lindsay O'Reilly. Now Lindsay does West Edge 3D. Nice guy, retired principal, but that's him in 3D. Bit hard to see on this one again, but he's invested hugely into this machine that will 3D print colour, and it scans, and the detail is fantastic. See this, down to the check shirts. This is all 3D printed. Hopefully we'll be retailing these in the near future. Here's our mate Jim Hamilton from Scale Workshops. Does a great job, fits all this in the back of his ute. Comes from South Australia, but he's got every little bit of scale items that you could wish for. Catch him at the next exhibitions. So this is just a run through of some of the displays that were there. We didn't get them all because it was huge, and it'd be a 3-hour video if we were to do everything. But the level of workmanship is fantastic. Newcastle, this was the top one. It was actually the People's Choice Award. Beautiful, stunning backdrop, very fine detail. The boats were fantastic. It just created this scene that you can see why it got best in the show. It was just meticulously done. Still being worked on, I believe, but yeah, the scenario, you could just picture yourself there in that steam era time. And of course, in HO, you need a bit of room out back to be able to do the turning. Next to Gunnedu and Gunbower, just country railway stations and stops. A bit of VR car carriers there, Victorian Railways. But a good thing to be able to get two scenes, you'd say, just have them side by side, rather than one long one depicting one area. So it came up really well. Once again, some little painted silos. They just become a real tourist attraction in Australia now. Intercity coming in, passing the freight in the loop. And the signal will stop, and then they'll clear the loop. Bulk grain hoppers going through, off to the flour mills. Quite a nice rate of carriages. South Wales Railway livery there. A couple of VR box wagons thrown in as well. Blowfly bean. Just a little diorama. The HOE gauge going around. Golly, panning for gold. I don't know how much he would have got out of the creek, but after a hard day's work, he can go and get some sausages and go home and have a barbie while he counts all his gold. Flussberg, once again another small diorama, some beautiful scenery and a lot of work in doing this, based around the castle, which is very finely detailed. So near the end of the day, everyone's just packing up, getting ready to go. Customers are still in, so you've still got to keep operating, but some of the bits and pieces that you haven't been using, you can start packing up. It's a case of so many exhibitors, that it's a very well controlled pack up this. And I like this time of the day because you can see all the layouts still operating, but without the crowds around. But also, as they start dismantling displays, you can just see how they're put together, how the modules are put together, how they've worked out the packing up for trailers. A lot of thought goes into the modularisation, if that's a word, of layouts, and being able to cut them at the right place and being able to rejoin them again flawlessly. The system now is that you've got to pack up first, then you go and get a number. This is the Aracoola backdrop laid out, so that has to be very carefully rolled up so it doesn't get any crinkles. So once you've got a number, you've just got to sit and wait, and you'll be allocated a time. So you can get your car, and then they'll give you an okay to go and pick up your trailer, which was secure on site, which was good, and then you back up and start loading. We did stay an extra night in Sydney. I'm in the 70s. I don't want to be driving home after 2 days of constant standing and talking at the show, so we stayed an extra night, and we ended up driving to Albury, which is on the Victorian New South Wales border. But everything is very efficiently done. It's amazing how after even an hour after the show closed, most people were packed up. So that's us just sitting there waiting to clear out. Yes, it was all fairly easy in the end. So 5 hours down to Albury, a basic motel. It was only $90-something a night because there's 3 of us. We had to have 2 rooms, but yeah, it all came together rather nice. And then from there to home, it was another 5 hours. So a busy weekend. I hope you enjoyed this. It was only a snippet of what was up there. Encourage you to subscribe to us, and of course it all helps, but if you hit the bell for notifications, you'll get an idea of when we've got a new one up. And also, please comment, please drop us a line and say, yeah, that was great. I don't want to hear the crappy ones. Just say if you liked it. Don't have to go into depth, but thank you for watching.